In today's gospel, as Jesus is giving his discourse, someone comes up to him and says, "Hey, Lord, can you tell my brother to share his inheritance with me? Because I want it." And Jesus says, "Friend, who appointed me as your judge and arbiter?" And so he says, beware of all kinds of greed. The problem in today's society and in our life today is that in some way, even though we talk about not judging each other, not judging people, there's some way in which everything in our life is dedicated and directed towards judging and judging everybody, every situation, everything possible. I mean, that is social media, right? Social media has now, you can like something, you can hate something, you can laugh at something. Everything is asking for a reaction. And every reaction that we give is a kind of judgment. On Twitter now, you can not only like something and share it, but you can also sort of like give it a thumbs down. Some people get very enthusiastic. They want to not just like or share or comment, but they want to even report things, And in all these little ways, we are sort of becoming shaped into judges, into arbiters of society, of societal interactions in many ways. And we kind of like that, even though nobody really cares, nobody really seems to pay attention to what we've said or done. In some little way, we are able to exercise our authority, our power, our judgment over what someone else has done or said. And I think this kind of attitude of judgment, even though it's very small, it tends to little by little creep up on us, and we become judgmental. We become people who decide that, in many little ways, we have an opinion that is worthwhile, sharing. Sometimes yes, many times no. Many times the things that we opine about are things that really have nothing to do with us. They have nothing to do with our specialties, they have nothing to do with our interests, they have nothing to do with our backgrounds. We're not in any way masters of these fields. But because someone has asked for our opinion, someone has said, will you like this? Will you give it a thumbs down? Will you laugh at it? Because someone's asking us, we feel, hey, my opinion matters. So I'd say be careful. Be careful, as Jesus says, not only against greed, but against all sorts of forms of judgment, People come to us because they want to be famous, they want to be popular, they want to be funny, whatever it is, and or they want to be deep, whatever the case might be, on social media. And they're asking for us to give them our approval. Be careful. I think it's better in some way, not to say that we don't have to use social media, but some way to kind of distance ourselves from these realities in order to exercise our non-judgmentality, so to speak. To say, hey, you know what? I've seen something, I've heard something. I don't have to give a judgment. This is not just in the realm of social media. Even in our daily lives, we encounter people, situations, whatever might be the case, and sometimes we're tempted to kind of give a judgment about it, to say, hey, that person did the wrong thing, or that person did the right thing. Very often the reality is that we just don't have enough information. We don't know what's going on. If someone does something mean to us or to another person, we might be tempted to say, hey, look, this is a bad person. But maybe they're not having a good day. Maybe something is going on in the background in their lives. Maybe they've had some kind of tragedy. We don't know. In other times, maybe there's something that we don't know about their history, There's so many things that we don't know about a person in the moment that we come to judge them that should give us pause, that should make us think, hey, maybe I should hold back a bit on what I say or do, to them. Maybe I should give them a chance, Very often we have this mentality that we want to judge people by their worst moment, You've known somebody for a while, you've seen this person, in various contexts, and you think, wow, this is a good person, this is an honorable person, whatever the case might be, you have a good judgment about the person. But then on a particular moment, something bad happens. They're not having a good moment, or they lose their temper, whatever the case might be, and we're tempted to say, that's it. This is the real person. This is the true person that has been hidden all along, and now I've seen who they really are. No. The reality is that we have to judge people by their best. We all have our bad days, and in those days we wish that everyone forgot who we were that day, what we did, what we said, how we acted. And so we have to extend the same charity to those around us, to say, hey, in the moment that I'm tempted to say, this is who this person is, to say, hey, look, they're not being themselves today. This is not the best person that they really can be, the person that I know they can be, the person whom I have seen. And so we hold our judgment. We withhold our whatever opinions we might have about a person, about a situation, and we say, hey, let me wait. Let me hold back. Let me give this person a chance. I think in this way we follow what Jesus says. Beware, be careful, because we can make so many bad decisions, bad choices based upon our poor judgment. So let's be careful. Let's follow Christ. Let's look with charity upon those around us. I think in this way we build goodwill. People understand that with us they are safe. With us they can be themselves. With us they can make mistakes. And with us there is forgiveness. In other words, they find Christ in us. And this is all they really want. They want to be forgiven. They want to have a chance. When we judge people too harshly, sometimes they lose hope. They start to think that, they've lost their reputation, they've lost really, all the chance that they have to be a good person, to change, to become better. And we don't want people to lose their hope. We want to be people who inspire hope. So sometimes it's good, instead of judging, to ignore what someone has done, to give them the space to change, to give them the space to have hope. Let us do that today. Be like Christ. Withhold your judgment. Give people space to change.